Hello, we're here today with Graham Robertson. Graham is founder of Beloved Brands, and he's not new to this. Branding has been a big issue in the last couple of years. Graham's been doing this for a while. Pretty smart guy. All the conversations I've ever had with him, I've come away smarter than before we started the conversation. So, Graham, tell us about Beloved Brands.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the intro. Appreciate your kind words. So my company is a brand consultancy and brand training firm that focuses on the client side strategy, which includes brand positioning and brand planning. So we always take the side of the client because that's my background, having spent 20 years in the marketing space. So whether we're working with those clients to help them make decisions or whether we're training marketers around the world, that's really what we do as our differential.
Okay, so that is different than branding.
It is different than branding in the sense that the branding is the colors and logos and choices and communication. And we do talk about how to make decisions around that. But I believe that that is left up to those experts who are the execution experts that we always surround ourselves with, but we make the decisions around those choices to go forward. But we never grab a pen and start to draw or come up with the colors ourselves. That's not what we do as brand management people.
Yeah, quite often you're involved in the early stages with the strategy, the positioning, the reason why
Yes. Yep.
customer, why do customers want this, the need, want.
Yeah, very much. One of the differences that I take is that I start with the customer always.
Okay.
And we figure out what that customer is all about. What is their insights and how do they define themselves? What kind of things are they looking for? And then we define the brand to speak to that type of consumer. And that's one of the flaws I think a lot of marketers make is they think about their product or brand first and then go to customers. Whereas I believe you should start with the customer at the start and then figure out how to, it's like a riddle. I find the best marketers in my area look at those customer areas as almost a riddle to solve like you would a detective on a TV show. That's sort of how I look at it.
Yeah. So rather than saying, here's 5 products, which one can we sell? It's here's a bunch of consumers. What are their needs and wants?
Yes, exactly. And what I ask people to think about is not what customer do you want, but what customer wants you. And it's a big difference in a sense because we need to figure out who already wants us. So if I'm selling a golf ball that goes 50 yards longer than the average golf ball, well, who's already hitting it 300 yards and wants to hit it 350 yards is probably a lot better customer than somebody who's hitting it 40 yards and wants to hit it 41.
Yeah. How did you know? So who's your ideal client?
Mine I believe is in terms of the consultancy side, is the head of marketing or those who are trying to solve the problems that they are looking for and to solve positioning issues or brand plan issues. That's really what we target. And what I believe is what I offer is almost a bit of brand therapy because I believe the answers are in their heads already. And my role is to help to get those answers out, not to give them my answer, but to help their answer get better.
It's the art of asking the right questions.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, what's your advice for a marketer out there right now whose staff are working from home and whose customers are, fearful of going back to work or going back shopping or whatever? What's your advice for how to carry on in this market?
It's a very difficult time for marketers, but even a more difficult time for consumers. So you have to come at the situation with an empathy to what people are going through. And I think we have to understand the speed of which our customers are going through this is not as fast as we hope or want. We I see out there too much panic selling because they're in a panic. But you got to realize that your customer is also in a panic of panic buying, of wondering how much money they have. So if you're trying to sell me a $5,000 trip or a big screen TV, maybe I'm going to be a little more cautious in this period because I don't know what is in the next year for me as the consumer. And that's the one thing you got to really think about. I also recommend people think of their own people as well, their own team, and really take care of them, because if you have surrounded yourself with great people, you need to make sure that when we come out of this, that you're still surrounding yourself with those same great people. So I know a lot of marketers are saying you have to be on air still and you have to invest in advertising. I would say counter to that, invest in your people first to make sure that you come out of there with a great product innovation person, with great marketing communication people, with great operations people, with great execution people, and you're going to be farther ahead than, hey, I needed to be on air, so I let go 38% of my staff, and then a year from now you're trying to bring those people back and you can't get the exact person, and now you're going to be, your delay of market could turn in from 3 months to 18 months because now you've got a team in shambles and you're trying to figure yourself out.
So protect your two-legged intellectual property.
Yeah, I am of the notion more and more that the best brands are driven by the best people, and not just the person that's heading this for marketing, but the overall team. And that's one of the approaches I take with my consultancy as well, that we need to define the brand idea, but then how does that play out through the entire company? And that's through your people.
Yeah. So how would our viewers get a hold of you? Your website, your email?
So the best way to get a hold of me, honestly, is through LinkedIn. And I'm on there, and I promote a brand message almost daily with some kind of learning for people in the marketing space. So that's one way to get a hold of me. But you can also email me at graham@beloved-brands.com, and I can certainly talk to you there.
Excellent. Graham, thank you very much for your time. I like the work you do. I've seen a lot of it. I see a lot of your daily posts on LinkedIn. Keep up the good work.
Okay, well, thank you very much for hosting me here, and I appreciate it.
Have a great day. Stay safe.
All right. Stay safe as well.